How do we wake up each morning? A morning full of anxiety and stress, or a moment of peace and appreciation? Sometimes our lives are dominated by worries, insecurities, and a sense of losing control. But is there a way to face those challenges without being overwhelmed by them? Today we will explore a secret that could change the way we perceive and live this life. A secret that can help us find peace amidst worries and suffering, and more importantly, help us take control of our own lives. That secret is observation, but not the kind of observation we usually do every day. We will explore how the philosophies of Jiddu Krishnamurti, one of the greatest masters of the philosophy of life and spiritual freedom, can help us overcome inner conflicts and find a path to inner peace. Let's explore how to observe without being influenced by thoughts and emotions, and how this observation can free us from fears and anxieties in life. 1. The power of observation. Krishnamurti Jiddu Krishnamurti, a famous philosopher, once said, "Observation too is the most important thing in life. Not observing with a purpose or motive, but observing with tranquility, without judgment." This may sound simple, but in reality, it is a significant challenge in our stressful and anxious lives. The greatest difficulty is not how to observe, but how to observe without letting thoughts or emotions influence. Krishnamurti pointed out that when we can observe without being influenced by our own thoughts or emotions, we will see everything more clearly and understand their true nature. Observing in this state is not to change reality, but to understand and accept it as it is. But how can we practice this in a world that is constantly changing, full of upheaval and contradictions? How can we observe without being deceived by our own thoughts, beliefs, or emotions? How can we observe without being deceived by our own thoughts, beliefs, or emotions? 2. Exploring fear. From Krishnamurti to everyday life. Exploring fear. From Krishnamurti to daily life. Krishnamurti spoke about fear as a pervasive element in human life. We fear losing what is precious, fear being judged, fear death, fear inadequacy. And this fear makes us live in a state of tension, always anxious about what has not yet happened. But Krishnamurti posed an important question. Why can't we resolve this fear? This applies not only to abstract fears, but also to the worries that each of us faces daily. Is there a way for us to learn how to face and overcome fear instead of being controlled by it? And can facing death, a great fear, help us live more freely? We have understood that to overcome conflict and suffering in life, the first step is to learn how to observe without being influenced by emotions and thoughts. But observation is not the only thing that helps us find peace and freedom. There is another factor, which is acceptance and the ability to find joy in the present moment, even when facing pain and uncertainty. Let's continue to explore how to cultivate a serene soul, even in the most challenging moments of life. 3. Krishnamurti and the final moments. Peace before death. Krishnamurti and the final moments. Peace before death. At the age of 90, when Krishnamurti realized that his life was coming to an end, he faced death very differently than most of us. At the age of 90, when Krishnamurti realized that his life was gradually coming to an end, he had to face death in a very different way than most of us. In a public talk, he shared that death is not something to be feared, but rather a natural part of life. With a rare sense of peace and tranquility, he felt no regret or fear. That moment, a moment of spiritual freedom, made him realize that liberation is not an escape from life, but the ability to live completely freely in the present. He was not bound by the past, nor afraid of the future, but completely embraced life in each moment. He is not bound by the past, not afraid of the future, but completely embraces life in every moment. 4. The secrets of life, joy and inner peace. But what truly brings peace and happiness in life? We often hear that death is inevitable. But throughout his life, Krishnamurti pointed out that what truly matters is not death, but how we live. Life is not about existing in anxiety and fear, but about the ability to find joy in every moment. There is a story about a 100-year-old man living on an island in the Pacific Ocean. Even though he smoked and drank, what he believed to be the secret to a long life was having no hatred, no resentment, and always maintaining an attitude of gratitude towards life. Every morning, he wakes up and says, "Today is a new day, a day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." This peace and joy are an invisible component that we can find only when we let go of all our sorrows, hatred, and anxiety, and learn to live in the present. 5. The final lesson: acceptance and freedom. The final lesson: acceptance and freedom. When we face the truth about death and fear, we can learn an important lesson. Freedom does not come from avoiding or fleeing from the uncontrollable, but from acceptance. Accept that everything comes and goes, and that life is not meant to be conquered, but to be experienced fully and peacefully. Krishnamurti lived a life without struggle, without fear, and in the final moments of his life, he found liberation. Liberation is not about escape, but about fully accepting the present and living in joy and inner peace. So, are you ready to learn how to live like that? Try to observe, let go of worries, and live fully in each moment. Try to observe, let go of worries, and live fully in each moment. Life is a journey of continuous learning and growth. Life is a journey of continuous learning and growth. Remember that the secret to life is not something distant, but the ability to live in peace, acceptance, and joy. When we live like that, all fears dissipate, and we can live in the most free and fulfilling way. So, we have together explored a part of the secret to living peacefully through the teachings of Jiddu Krishnamurti, the power of observation. Not observing with purpose or motive, but simply observing without judgment. When we learn to perceive life without being influenced by negative thoughts or emotions, everything becomes much clearer and more peaceful. Just like Krishnamurti, in his final moments, he did not let the fear of death dominate him. Instead, he lived with acceptance and gratitude. That is a vivid testament to the spiritual freedom he had discovered. This life, though full of challenges, if we know how to observe, understand, and accept, we will find inner peace without having to escape or strive excessively. But the important question we need to ask ourselves is, can you practice that observation in your life? Can you pause for a moment, breathe, and observe fully without judgment, to see the truth of the life around you without getting caught up in anxieties, fears, or inner conflicts? Every day we face our own challenges and fears. However, freedom begins with the ability to observe without being influenced by negative thoughts. Let that observation become a part of your daily life, helping you find peace and freedom within your own soul. Open-ended question: have you ever tried to pause and observe with understanding without judgment in stressful or anxious situations in life? What would happen if you did that? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching this video. Please leave a comment or share your story, as we always look forward to hearing your experiences. May you always find peace in every moment of life. May you always find peace in every moment of life.